Previously on Shadows of Brimstone.
I'm surprised to see you out here. This here mine's marshalling business. Why didn't I go in? Well, somebody's got to wait out here and make sure he gets out okay, and nothing else does. You get my drift? You've heard all the rumors about what's living in these mines, same as I have.
Jake, watch out behind you!
What, Nathan? Okay, I'm coming out!
Wait for me, you old...
Jack, are you there? Jake! Well, Sheriff, it's a good thing you're here after all. I'm gonna have to go in there and get him.
Lousy, Sheriff. I can't believe he took off. Gonna get help my butt. Jake, can you hear me? I'm coming to get you.
Yes, Marshal. Please help us.
Are you okay, Jack?
I'm fine, but I need your help. I can't carry Jake on my back.
What was that?
Nothing. Just some rocks shifting. This mine is dangerous. We'd better get out quickly. Please hurry.
Okay, I'm coming. Something doesn't feel right. Jack is much more monotone sounding than usual. My hair always gets shorter when there's evil around. What the? Oh my God.
Quick, Marshal. Run forward my voice. It is safe here. Better throw your gun at the tentacles. They hate that.
I don't believe you, Jack. You're evil or something now. I got something for you. No time to light it. I'll just have to throw it and shoot it. Ah! Sorry, Jack. Sorry, Jake. Oh, man. I'm getting too old for this.
Shadows of Brimstone, City of Ancients, is the other core set for Shadows of Brimstone. Since this is simply another core set of the same game, I'm not going to go over the entire system again. I reviewed the Swamps of Death core set a while back, and you can take a look at that review by clicking on the link on your screen right now, or I'll also have it at the end of this video. For this video, I'm going to show you the components, go over the differences between City of the Ancients and Swamps of Death, plus give you my updated thoughts after playing both core sets and maturing my views over the past few years. And I'll give you advice on which core set to start with if you're just getting into Shadows of Brimstone. I'm also going to release another video with some actual gameplay so that you can see the game in action. First off, let me just say that the primary difference in the core sets is that the Targa Plateau is the other world that comes with the City of the Ancients, as opposed to the Jargano Swamp that comes in the Swamps of Death. This one's a frozen city, the other is a swamp. The rulebooks are the same, but the advanced missions are geared to the other world that comes with the set. So, here is the adventure book that comes with City of the Ancients. And as you can see, now the first 6 missions are basically, the basic missions are the same, but the character classes are different. I'll show you those in a second. And the advanced missions are all different. They're based on the new set. Dun dun dun, City of the Ancients. Amazing artwork as per usual. In this core set, we've got 4 new characters. We've got the Saloon Girl, the Gunslinger, and what I really like about the Gunslinger is he gets his own little 6-shooter template that he can load bullets into. Special bullets, evil bullets, bullets that do extra damage. And you can upgrade those bullets as you advance in levels. The Bandito, who can recover a grit on a move roll of 1 or 2, which is awfully nice. And the U.S. Marshal. Now, I got a soft spot for the old Marshal. Once per turn, when you kill an enemy with a shotgun, you gain +1 shot with that shotgun. So you can go ahead and try to kill another enemy. Ain't that something special? Yeah. We've also got, now let me show you a couple of minis. I can't remember, I think that's the U.S. Marshal. Yeah, that's Marshal. There's the Gunfighter. Saloon Girl. And the Bandito. Ooh, his gun needs straightening out a little there. We've also got monsters. The Targa pylons that come with the game are the only ones that come, they're just little tokens. So you don't get minis for those. They're just tokens. Then we have the Void Spiders. There's 12 of those in the game. That's probably one of the easiest monsters. Of course, we have tentacles. Why wouldn't you have tentacles? Everybody needs a good tentacle or two. We've got Stranglers, as we're moving up in difficulty here. The Stranglers. Here's what they look like. And we've got the Night Terrors. I still get those sometimes. Here's what they look like. And the big bad that comes with the set is Goliath. And as you can see here, there's some of the nice map tiles that come with the game. The reverse side, of course, is the regular mine tiles. But the other side is this new other world, the Targa Plateau. That's a quick look at the components. Now let's talk about the game. I took some time off from playing Shadows of Brimstone before I came back to play City of the Ancients, and I've been reminded of what I like so much about this system. It takes me back to my youth, back when we could play Dungeons and Dragons or Call of Cthulhu night after night, fighting monsters, leveling up, and making a midnight run to go and get marshmallow shakes at Toots Drive-Thru. Does anyone remember the first edition Dungeon Master's Guide from TSR? It had a section in the back where a single player could generate a random dungeon to go through, then roll on different charts for monsters, treasure, magical items, and all sorts of stuff. It was the only way to play D&D solo and have fun. And I spent many hours doing this before I met anyone else who liked D&D. Shadows of Brimstone reminds me of this so much, but it's better. You have cards that replace those charts, and I only showed you, some of the components that are different, but there's still a million other components in the game. Cards, all the cards, and the zillions of tokens, everything that comes in the other core set. There are full color-themed tiles, randomly pulled instead of charting it out all on graph paper. And monster figures. I'd never had any monster figures. Any game we had back then had those pawns that looked like tiny joysticks. Unless, of course, you were playing Monopoly or Life, I guess. Or Mousetrap. Okay, well, they didn't have any cool monster figures anyway. And you have to assemble these figures. Just like when I would put together models when I was a kid, using plastic cement and getting tons of tiny fibers attached to my fingers that I have no idea where they came from. Of course, many gamers today have tons of experience putting together figures and painting them too, which I am still, sadly, unable to do. But I digress. Shadows of Brimstone still packs a ton of gaming into the box, and it's more than just a board game. It's an experience that you can play for many nights of fun, and then go on to continue the experience with other world expansions, or additional monsters, or other expansion packs. If you're looking for that fantasy horror RPG experience in a board game setting, then this might be the system for you. What some might not like is the time it takes to get ready to play. You have to assemble the miniatures, and this takes time, some tools, and patience. Then you must decide if you want to paint them, which most people will tell you that you should do. But like I said, I haven't yet. It'll take a half hour to punch out all the tokens and tiles. Then you have to learn the rules, which also takes time because there's a lot of them and a lot of different situations that can occur, which can leave you paging through the rule book to find the proper solution. It's what some might call fiddly. The missions are great and thematic, but there isn't really a campaign. The core set gives you 12 missions, and the expansions have additional missions. You can play missions over and over and never really have the same experience twice. But if you're looking for a campaign tying everything together with some final goal, well, there isn't one. And you will probably want to figure out your own organizing and storage solution for the game. Once you assemble the figures, you will not be fitting everything back into the box, at least without taking out the insert. I was able to do that once I took the insert out. And finally, it takes a lot of table space. Tokens, cards, tiles, character sheets, figures, and equipment all add up to a lot of table real estate. This table is too small. If these things turn you off, then this might not be the system for you. For those who don't mind working a bit to get to their game night of horror, the payoff is well worth the effort. On to the differences between this core set and the Swamps of Death core set. I think that overall, the City of the Ancients is a better starting off point for new players than the Swamps of Death. The monsters are a bit easier to deal with, not quite as deadly as the ones in Swamps of Death, and the figures are easier to assemble as well. The void spiders, which there are 12 of them, just simply need to be clipped off of the sprue, and the tentacles only need to be clipped off of the sprue and glued to their bases. The Swamps of Death has a character called the Preacher, which introduces a type of magic into the game. City of the Ancients doesn't have this, so you don't have the added complexity of magic to deal with when starting out with City of the Ancients. One thing it does introduce is the Gunslinger character, who has the 6-shooter template I showed you, and there are special bullet tokens that can be loaded into the gun at the start of the adventure. The initial bullets are the Deadeye shots, and each one of these can add 2 points of damage to an attack. As the Gunslinger goes up in levels, there are other bullets that you can load into the gun, like the Ricochet shot or the Cerebus, and the Hellfire shot, and each have different effects. After a bullet is used, it's gone, and you don't get it back until the next adventure. I think this is a pretty cool thing to have, and I'm really tempted to get the resin miniature version of the 6-shooter that Flying Frog is selling on their website. One aspect of the game that I haven't mentioned is that the characters get to visit a town in between adventures where they can rest up, heal up, buy more gear, or get new items crafted by the blacksmith using the mysterious dark stone they find while exploring the mines. And the good old event charts. I remember from my D&D days. They're here. The players need to consult these when they're visiting the different locations in the town. The reason I mention this now is because the Saloon Girl character from City of the Ancients has a bunch of special equipment that only she can buy when visiting the saloon in town, which is a nice little benefit for using her hero character. So, my advice if you're looking for a starting point to get into Shadows of Brimstone is to go with the City of the Ancients. And then, when you are ready, pick up Swamps of Death to give you more challenge and more monsters to fight. Finally, let me just say that Flying Frog has released an official FAQ PDF that you can find on BoardGameGeek, and it clears up a lot of the questions that you might have when playing the game. Thank you for joining me in this review of Shadows of Brimstone, City of the Ancients. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at elliott_miller@voiceofe.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube, as I'll have a lot more thematic game reviews. You don't want to miss any of them. Please tell your friends to check out the Voice of E. Hopefully, they'll subscribe too. Thanks again. Until next time, keep your mind free.
Getting like that 6 you need more time.